Hello and welcome back to another video of Uipath RPA Project 1. This project is the title search project, and to understand about the project in detail you can pause your video here and you can have a look on this matter which is right now on your screen. So this is the schedule of each video you can see on your screen right now, and all of these videos will be available on the mentioned dates, and the link of the playlist will be available in the description of each video, so that you can click on that link and reach on the playlist directly. But if you are starting from this video, you don't have to worry about other parts because you can start from anywhere, and in the end the video number 6 is where I will connect all the workflows. So you can start from video number 1, you can start from video number 4, you can start from video number 5. You don't have to worry about the starting point, but watch the complete video together at one time, okay, so that you understand the entire flow. Otherwise you have to do some revisions once again. So there is one more thing, like the structure of the website can change anytime, but the basic concept will remain same. So you don't have to worry if you see some other image or if you see some other structure of the website tomorrow, because these are the county website. They have all the rights to change them anytime. But the basic concept will remain same. How to click, how to check the folder, that will remain always same. Only thing is that your click and typing steps will be changed. So here is the Excel. We will be reading this data, which is property address and borrower name. So you can see in the property address there is a house number and then street name is there, and then there are few more details. All right. With that we have details sheet where URL is available. So when we will look through this sheet, so the next workflow file will be how to break the address into the different parts. So we will require house number separately, and we will require street address separately. We will require pin code separately. So how to break, that will be the another workflow. So when we will loop through the first workflow, which is this one, this we will call inside that. Okay, so you will understand how to call a workflow inside another workflow. And then if based on the county name which is available in the data row, we will call any one of the county workflow. So we have already completed two county workflows. First was for DuPage and the second one was for Orange. Now we will be starting this third, which is Miami. So today we will develop the automation workflow for Miami County, and we will search for the address. If the address and the borrower name matches, then we will download few documents. So this is the outline of this workflow. All right, let me show you the workflow which I am talking about. So if I go to my RP project folder, you will see the title search. So inside title search, we have two workflows already. And now we will be creating one more, which is for Miami-Dade. Okay, so let's start. Now from here, we have to understand that how things are happening manually, how actions are being performed manually. Same actions we have to automate using UiPath. Let's open the file first of all. So this is the data for Miami from here, row number 5 to row number 7. Matching with this, we will see the URL in the other sheet. Miami, you can see here. So when we will develop the workflow, it will take the variable value from here, which is Miami, and then it will search for the URL into this file. So let's open this URL into a browser. So right now I am doing it manually. Okay, now let's go to Excel file and go to data. See that what kind of results we get. Copy this address first of all. Okay. And then there will be one validation also, that this is the right record for which we are searching or this is not the right record. So what we will do is, in our workflow, we will take this name in the variable, and then we will check the first name is available in the owner name or not. Okay. So you can see the owner names. The first name is matching, which is the correct record. Now let's go and check with the other address. So in this address, I have purposely taken the only house number and then the city name or the county name. Okay, and then I will search. So it will not be a unique search. That's why it will return multiple addresses. So you can see here there are multiple addresses. So one record or multiple record, but everything will come in this table. So this is a table which you cannot see right now. Okay, so single record was also coming in one, and the multiple record is also coming into multiple table data cells. So this is our right record because you see the name here, this one, highlighted one, and you can see the name here. All right. So we will loop through each record. So when we will loop through each record, even if it is one record, it will not go to next because next record is not available. So we will match the name, and if the name is matching, then we will click on the link. In case of multiple, we will go to next, we will go to next, and then we will try to match the name. We will go to next. If the name is matched, then we will break the loop and then we will click on this link. Okay, so this is how the flow will go. So let's start the development now. I will close this and I will go to my folder again. Since we are using common input variables, if you see this, so there are five different common variables, okay, which we will require into all the counties and which we will be using as a argument in when we will call these workflows from main county or main workflow. So let me show you which are those variables. So I will show you that in the Orange County. It takes time to start. Okay, so this is our workflow for Orange County. You can have a look. Now variables. So you see this IN, all these variables are the common variables into all counties. So why I have given IN? Because this will be converted into the input arguments, which will fetch these values from a different workflow and call the workflow which is related to the county name. Okay, so that's why we have to keep same name across. So if you want to copy the workflow and then you want to do it, you can do copy the workflow and change it. So copying the workflow and changing these selectors and values I have explained when I have done the last video for Orange County. Now in this county, we will use the fresh workflow. We can open any of the existing workflow file to create new workflow. Okay, and then click on new and here workflow. So it will take you to the same folder location here, and then you have to change the name. The name should be as per this name, and this name should be as per this county name. So all the county name and the workflow name should be matching because we have to call this any one workflow out of three workflows. So how will we identify which workflow has to be called based on the name? All right. You have to change the template here. You have to select a flowchart. Okay, so you will when you will go back and see in your folder there is a workflow created. So what you can do for now, you can just close this from here, and if you want, you can directly go here and start. Right, so it is open now. So first of all, we have to create those default variable which we have just discussed 2-3 minutes back. So these are the default variables which I will be creating first of all. And the default type will be automatically, you have to select this workflow file, then only it will come and create. So you will see the scope is already Miami. All right. And so like this copy paste you have to do for all. So we have all the variables here, and now let's increase the width. You can select the canvas from here, click here. I have already explained the difference between the recording types. So if you are not getting this layout, okay, there is another kind of layout in the modern view and the classic view. So modern view, you can see here, modern. So I am using right now classic. Okay, you can change the views from project settings here. There is a dedicated video for that which you can watch and do the changes if you are not getting recordings. All right, now first step is that we have to open the URL. So which URL? So now for Miami, this is the URL. First of all, I have to assign this to the variable. So click on the workflow again, and I think I have missed the URL variable. So here is the URL variable, and then copy it, Control C, and in this UI path, you can paste. And if you are not getting the value here, it means it has gone to the next line. Come down, come left, like this. All right. Now this URL value, IN URL, we have to do Control Shift T and open browser. Okay, and now I have to set this open browser as start node. Which browser we have to open? We have to pass the link here, IN URL. So what we will do is we will go here, click on this open browser, go on properties. After clicking on open browser, it will show the property for this open browser activities. So you can select here Chrome. Extension should be available into your Chrome. So how to add Chrome extension? There is a different video for that. So as of now, we are closing the browser manually, but when we will combine this entire project, all the workflow file of this project, then the browser will be automatically closed by one activity, which I will, which you will get to know by the end of this project, or maybe in the next video. So I will just run this now. So website is opened in the Chrome browser. It is loading now. So workflow has done its job. Okay, so we have the website opened here. Now next is that we have to type the address and click on this. So for typing the address, I will create the recording. So as I just mentioned, sometimes this icon will not come. So you can use the whatever kind of recording icon is coming here. So as of now, I am using web. It will come record, and then you have to start recording here. Click on this element, type some address, click on empty field, click back here in the text box and hit enter. Okay, now you have to use escape to come out of the recording, save and exit. So I'll just click on this, and then now let's close this browser, test this once again. Browser open, address type. So this has happened automatically, the address is typed successfully. Okay, so now next is that we have to click on this button. So that I will do using click, simple click activity, Control Shift T. So Let's select that element. You can double click on this, indicate here, and come on this. Just try to move your cursor around, and when it is very close inside the center of the element, then click on the element. It will automatically take the selector. If this video is the first video for you, in my previous videos, I have explained about how to use UI Explorer to generate selectors for element. So when you will watch my other videos, you will understand this. If you have already watched, then you will be knowing this. All right. So now let's test only this part. Close the browser, existing browser. Now let's see. So you see the page is loading. So there is no address given, no data found because we have not given any address. Okay, so this is the reason. All right. So now let's move to the next part. Next is that we have to assign the address to the variable. So let's take the address from here and street name, sorry, house number. This is house number. House number is here, and this is the street name which is here in the Excel. All right. Now, and before I run this, I have to do changes here. So we will be passing house IN house number. This is inside the recording, and we will be passing IN house number plus space one time plus IN street name. Okay. So I don't have to open the browser once again for testing. So I will set it as a start node, this recording. All right, save and close this manually. You have to do this whenever you test the flow. Run this. You can see the address is written and it has clicked on the button also. And you can see this is available now. Okay, now let's try with the another address. This is the address. Let's change the address in the variable. 321 as the house number, and in the street I will take only Miami County name so that it is returning multiple results. Click. It's already opened. Okay. To delete the existing values, what you can do, you can just check here, go to property, click on this type into, go to properties, and simulate is true. You can make it false so that it is on the front if you want. And empty field is also true. So empty field true in the sense it will clean the existing text. Just save and run it now. So it is typing and yes, it is. Let's click on search. So you can see there are multiple boxes. So what we will do is that we will create the flow for multiple only. And let's say if it will go for let so if there are any number of boxes available or these are the table cells. So any number of table cells is available. Our flow will loop to each cell. Okay. It will go to number one, it will go to number two, number three, wherever it will find the owner name matching, it will break. or wherever it will find that this is the last block, then it will return that there is no match found. So we will create it for multiple, and then we will test it for multiple, and then we will again test it for single address. Means these both the scenarios we will test, but we will start building from this scenario. Because of some updates, this has come here. I have to change the project setting. You can also learn parallelly, and you just off this modern experience. Will reload the project. It might take few seconds. Okay, now first I want to remove this comma from this. Miami. Then second, that should be able to access this container, and I should be able to get the text. Once I will be able to get the text, then I will be able to take this parcel number from here, and then I will click on this parcel number when name is matching, when owner name is matching. Okay, so let's try to access this. I will take get text activity here, minimize this, go to activities, take get text. So I can double click on this card, and this is the one way, but we have to have the proper selector for this. Let's click on this and then create one variable which we will name as container text. All right, so we don't have to click anywhere. We can just set this activity as the start node because page is already available. And then let's try to write the text here. Yes, we are able to get it. But now let's see if what we have to change, because we have to use the same selector and we have to go to all the containers in a loop. So let's check the selector now. So IDX is 2 here. If I make it 3, so once it is 2, let's do validate highlight. It's going here. Now let's change it to 3. Validate. It's going on third one. Let me show you. Here it is going. So just for your knowledge, if I just remove this one, CSS selector part, then validate. So it is not taking it. If you want to use UI Explorer, which I will prefer to use for better selector and the stable selectors. So let's copy this. Now I will tell you how to create selectors. So you can see, so you just open this UI Explorer, indicate on this element, let's indicate on this card and see. So this selector is very complicated selector. I don't want this. Okay. So when I test this now and highlight, it's going on the right place. When I change this for validate, I highlight, it's going it's going inside the box, which I don't want. So now let's go and check this element, first of all, I will release the highlight from here. If you want to go using this, you can go and only this index part you have to change. Okay, but I want to go with another way, which is the better way. I will just do inspect. If you are not getting inspect, then Control Shift I, come down, do right click on this, and you see this is this div. When you will focus on this div, okay, this is inside another div. So when you come here, this is the div. Basically, everything is inside this div. So what you can do is you can take class. Okay, so if you will see in this selector, first thing is web control. Which type of control is that web control? And what is, so how are we identifying the control? We are identifying the control based on the parent ID. And I take class, attribute as class. Each box, this is unique. So I have copied this from here till here. I will come here and I will just delete this line first. And I will change this. So tag. So again you can, what is the tag? So here you see the tag name is this div. So tag is div itself. We don't have to change. Now when we will do it one, and then we will validate, it is matching. So web control is the HTML element or HTML control. How you identify that control? We are identifying by class, which is the common for all containers. And then how do you, which one you want? So if there are multiple, you can pass this IDX. Go here. You can see this focus is set to 1. Okay. Now just release the highlight and let's minimize this and then do 2, validate. Yes, now highlight. It is going rightly. Now let's make it 5. Validate and you highlight. So 1, 2, 3, it is coming on 5th. Alright, so this is how you create selectors. Now we will use the same selector here. We'll change this one. This is a little complicated. Control A, Control V, validate, save. So now which data you will see which is there in the 5th, because I am not changing this as of now. We have to do a lot of changes, but as of now, let's test that it is able to take the text out of the 5th container or not. Okay, save. This is to get the text and this is to type the text. Website is available. Yes, it is available. Let's see. Now let's check. So you have the data here, but which data, which container data? Let's come down and see the owner. Owner name is Veronica. So here is the owner in the 5th one. You can see the text here. Let's check once again. It's here. Now next point is that we should be able to get the text from all of these, because we don't know that where is our actual record available. So for that, what we will do is we will use while loop. Let's come down. Control Shift T, the shortcut, while. here. Okay, delete, copy this entire thing, go inside the while loop and change here body while, paste it here. So now whatever we have created to extract the text out of container is inside the while. There are few changes which we have to do. We have to assign the data in the owner name from this Excel file. So as we are developing from this first one, and then we will test this second one, which is row number 6, second for Miami. Okay, so let's copy this now, and then here we have it. That's it. And let's take this also inside a sequence, Control Shift D. And we will name the sequence as, you can give the annotation, click on parcel number. Okay, so we will create a owner status variable, all right, and we will set that to false. So, and then we will go to each container. If owner name found in any of the container, we will set this to true. If owner name is not found in any of the container after looping all the containers, then we will set the owner name as false. So this is the approach which we are going to take now. All right, just click on this icon, this pin icon. Okay, before we go to that, we have to first ensure that this page is available or not. Result page is available or not after clicking on this button. So this is like I'm going in reverse. Okay, so what we can do is that we can identify this element. So use, if you want, you can use UI Explorer, and you can click on this element, take the selector. If you don't want to use that, I would like to illustrate the another other ways also. You can do Control Shift T, and you can take element exist. So element exist basically will return you that if any element is exist or not. I generally use EE for element exist first card. So if we are able to check that this first card, card number 1 is available, which means that yes, page is loaded. Okay. So what we will do, we will take the selector of this one, and then we will go to properties. You can check the selector once, highlight, and then you can take exist card 1, means first card is available. And this is a boolean. This return element exists return boolean. So what you can do is you can take a flow decision now. FLOW flow decision. take this decision here. Okay, if it will not be fine, then we will do something. As of now, we will take only the log. So we will write the status also, which I will explain you in the end of this flow. We will write page not loaded. Okay, page not loaded. Otherwise, we will come to this branch. Just creating the space for this. If you want to change the label of this true and false, you can just select this decision box and go to the property loaded, sorry, not loaded. Okay, here you can mention like properties loaded. Okay, now let's, so this variable we have to use exist card one here in the condition. So here when you will click, go to properties again. Exist card one. So which means that first card is available. Okay, so since if you want to test it, is not loaded, and here we will just we have moved it here. This is for the template. This is for the temporary testing. I will take one more log message. I will write log message here. Loaded. Move this aside. Just test this from here because card is already available. Okay. So if you see the first card is visible on the screen. Okay. Now let's run this and see what is the result. Which branch is execute? So this branch is page not loaded, and this branch is loaded. Save, run. I am testing this on every step so that you can understand it properly. All right. Now let's check what is the output. It is loaded. Now if I change this page and I come on, okay. Now let's run and check what it gives. Let's see now what is the output. It is still running here. So it will wait for 30 seconds that it is available in 30 seconds or not. So it is waiting that it is visible or not visible. Execute the branch. So now 30 seconds are completed. Page not loaded because till 30 seconds page was not found. All right. So this is done. Now let's connect and come back to the same page. How can we come back to the same page? We will run. We'll connect everything from here. Close the browser because we are connecting from beginning, so it will open the browser. Browser is open and the address is typed. It has clicked on the icon. Okay. And let's see the output now loaded. So branches are working fine. Read this and delete this, and we are back on the same page where we had left here, card page. All right, let's get back 5 minutes back. So now we have while body, but before getting into the while, we have to create a condition, and condition will be that the next element should be available. So if I will show you the selectors here, what is the changing part? This index is the changing part, okay, which I have just explained 5 minutes back. All right. So now, how will we change the index inside the loop? For that, we have to create a counter. I will take a assign and control K counter, or you can take table row counter. I am considering that all the cards are into one table. Table row counter. I will rather use multiple assign. And the variable which I have created, it will come here. So table row counter. I will assign the value 1, and I will change the type here. I will add another variable, control K, next card status. Means next card is available or not. That I am setting to false. And I will take one more, which is I have to set this to Boolean. And I will take one more, control K, owner match status. And I will take this to false again. And you will click on this and come back here. And again see owner match status is a string. You have to change this to Boolean. Owner match status is Boolean. All right. So these are the three variables which we will require to perform the action. Now you will understand how. Multiple assign where function F2. It is a very good practice to keep changing the name. All right. Fine. So now condition which we will take is as long as next container is available, the flow should run. But this will not enter inside the flow pick. Why? Because we have already set this container status to false here. So we have to set this to true. Okay, now it will go inside. Once it will go inside, how will you confirm that yes, container is available? So we have this function get text from container. So we already have the selector. Selector is what? One address of the element. So we already have the address. We already know that how to find this selector. So you go to properties. Now you have this, correct. So we have already taken that if card number one is not available, it will already exit the flow from here. If first card is not available, then it will already exit the flow from here, this side. But if card is available, then only it will come. So now it is for sure that yes, at least one card is available. So it will go inside. It will take the text from the first container. Okay, how will it take? That it will use a variable. Which is that variable? The counter. We have taken the counter outside this while body. You will come here in while. You will come here in the sequence. So this counter first row one is already available. So what we will do is we have to change this with the variable because this is the part which will change. Now you have to just select this 5 completely and then you have to right click on this label when you will see this use variable, and then you have to choose a variable which is our variable table row counter, and thus ensure that there is no value available because there is no default value for this, and then confirm. You will see that this will come, one x inside the parenthesis will come and then the variable will come. So ensure that there is no other value here. Okay, click OK now. So once it will get the text, now we have to print this text after getting it. All right. So what we have to do that before we are going ahead, we have to check that if owner name is existing or owner name is available here, then we will break the loop here itself. We don't have to look for the next container. That is the first condition. All right. And then I am just breaking it now here itself. This is the temporary activities which we are doing. So break activity I will take so that it is breaking here without checking the condition. Set this as a start node. Before I run this, you see the cards are already available. So it will, as of now, just check the first one already. All right. So you can see the data is here. You can see what is the name of owner on the first card. Here is the name, and here is the name. All right. So you see this text is not in the proper manner. Okay, and this is very small text which is spread into multiple lines, and there are so many tabs because folio one is coming here, folio is coming here, parcel ID is coming here. So just to change this, what we will do is we'll take a assign activity and we will remove new lines and tab. To remove new lines and tab from Uipath, what we have to do is we have to use VB.NET constants into Uipath. So in Uipath, you can use VB language. So what I will do is container text. I will go and open the expression editor. Container text dot replace. Replace new line. We will use VBLF. So L is in the uppercase and then comma. We have to replace that with space, and we have to replace all the tabs also. So you can use replace it here itself. dot replace once again, and VB tab replace with space. Okay, so we have to put it down before. So we have to print this log message after the changes are done. Okay, and I will again add break here so that it is stopping. Let's save and run it now and check if there is any change. Page is already available for your reference, and run it. Let's check the output. So you see the difference is there. So now everything is coming in the one line. We can easily extract the text, which is, and we have to extract the text, this text, and this text in the upcoming part. So now one thing. So this is how you add the comment. Control Shift T, command the activity. You can check from activity panel also. And then go in the properties. You can write. Now when we have the text available, owner name. So how can we check that the owner name exists into this card or not? We are able to extract the text. Now let's take one sequence. Check first name. Okay, so how we will do that? We will take a if activity. Okay, and first of all, what we require first name. So how can we get the first name? You come here and in the variables you will see in owner name, and owner name has two different names, and if we will break by a space we are able to get the first name. So just click on this, assign, create a variable first name, or better owner first name. Okay, and how can you get the name? You use split. I will better open the edit expression editor. Click here, go in the properties, open expression editor from here. So we are getting the name where this is the split function. We are getting the name into in owner name, and then so now this is the input string. What is the input variable? Comma, space, and then you have which one we have to take. So there will be two parts. If we are breaking this owner name by space, two parts, we need first part. First part comes by 0. So here the first name is coming. If you want to see the first name, you can write this is the temporary log. First name is right. Now what we have to do is that we have to check inside this. I will rename this once again. When we have first name, if activity we will take. So how can we check container text dot upper dot to upper? Okay, because if let's say container text is coming in a small, or let's say our variable is coming in a small and container text is coming in upper. So to avoid those kind of things, better that we compare by converting both the things into upper. Container dot text dot to upper dot contains what it should contain. It should contain owner first name, the variable which we have created. So you can copy the variable from here. Copy, Control C. That also should be in upper only. Dot to upper. So if this condition is matched, okay, then what should happen? It should break the loop and it should set the status to true. Which status? Come out to this sequence, owner name sequence. We have taken owner match sequence, which is false as of now. Copy this variable, go inside the body again, come down, come on the sequence where we are checking the owner name. You can minimize it from here, this double arrow. You can click on the double arrow, it will spread once again and show else. And then take one assign. This is the variable you can paste here, owner match status after taking the assign, and you can set this to true. All right. And after it is set to true, then you break the loop because we don't need this loop anymore. We have got the match. And if it is not found, then what this is your choice that you want to write this log or not. You can write a log. You can use write line also. You can write like not owner not matched in which row or in which card container, and then you can give the row counter, table row counter dot to string. So it will print the message that owner not found in the container 3, container 4, container 5, like that. All right, let's say if this loop is not breaked and owner is not found. So this is if we have found, this will break the loop. Now let's minimize this. So if the flow is going to the next stage, means owner name is not matched, then what should happen? And now we have to check that again, comment and while okay, so what I have written is if owner name is not matched and loop is going to the next stage, then what you have to do is that next card is there or not there, you have to check. If next card is there, then you will keep going to the next card. If next card is not there, it is over. Then you have to set that there is no card and you have to set the status owner status to false. Okay, so now let's do that. So when we are getting the text from this element, which means that we already know that where is this element, or we already know the selector for these elements. Okay, and using the element exist activity, we can check that if the element which we are looking for is exist or not in advance. So in UiPath, element exist, and where is the UiPath selector for this element? Here. So this is the container. So what we can do is we can use same selectors. Okay. But before using the same selector, we are not looking for the same element now. What we are looking, if we have got the text from the first element or first container, now we are looking for the another container. So we have to increase the number, or we have to increase this. So we have to increase this row counter, or we have to increase the index. This is the index by 1. Okay. Now let's copy this selector, come down, and before we are searching, we have to increase the row counter by 1. So that assign table row counter. If you are not able to understand this, then you can comment with the timing. I will explain once again. So when we have increased, now we will look for the next one. Okay. Once row counter is increased, then same selector we will paste into this element exist. So now if we have already checked 1, then it will be checking for 2. You remember that we have taken one variable, next card status equals to true. Coming back inside, and we will next card status. All right, next card status. Again, we have to take a if. Next card status equals to true. So you don't have to write true, it is automatically. Function F2. Next card. Okay. If the next card is available, then we will not do anything. We will just write a log for the reference. Okay. And then if not exist, what you have to do? You have to take a break here. Click inside this show else. Click on this sequence plus activity. Break. So owner name status will be already false. So you just have to break it. So now when you are breaking, the owner name status is false. All right. So we will have one final status in all the cases. So if it is false, then we will take some other action. If it is true, then we will take some other action. Now it is time to test this part. We have done the development of this sequence. I will explain after testing. So cards are already available as of now. You can see here. And now let's run this flow. Completed. Open this output. So you can see, let's match the data. So first card number is this 260 ending, 310 ending, 300 ending, 200 ending. Now let's check if these all are coming or not. Come to output 260, 310, 300 ending here, 200 ending. So if you see, the first name is coming George. So this first name is the first name which is coming from here, our variable. Okay. You see the owner name here is George Darrer. And if you see the owner name here is George Darrer, which is fourth. It is coming on fourth now. And the same name is, you can, if you want to check with our Excel, you can check with Excel, same name. And then the flow has not moved ahead. So it means the flow is working fine. All right. So this is the decision making part, so I will explain this once again. So what we have done is that we have to access all the cards. We have taken one variable, one. We will be increasing this with the selector, dynamic selector. So UiPath dynamic selector is very important thing, because when you automate anything with UiPath, you have to change the selectors dynamically, because sometimes selectors are fixed and sometimes selectors are changing based on their values. So same thing here, the card selectors are same, only the index is changing. So what I have taken this table row counter so that it changes again and again. I have the next card status is to check that if next card is available or not. Owner match is to check if owner is available or not. In this while loop we are running until this is next card is true. So we have to set next card somewhere false. Or if we are not setting this to false, then we have to break the loop whenever next card is false. Okay, now what I am doing that here I am taking the text from the container. I am replacing the characters, re, so after replacing that in the string, what I am doing, I am just writing that string with the log message just for the reference. You can minimize activities from here. Okay, and then we are validating the owner name. So how are we validating? This is the first sequence inside the sequence. We have split the owner name by space, you can see here. And then we have selected the first part. So when we split anything, it will give us a list of string, and then we are selecting the first part, which is zero index. Okay, then we are writing that first name. If you want, you can disable this. To disable, right click and disable. Control D is the shortcut. And if name exists, means the container text contains the owner first name, then the flow will be breaked and the owner match will be set as true, which is happening right now. So owner name true will be used for the further action in the county workflow. All right, come out of this. So let's say if the owner name was not found and the flow is moving ahead, because in the else side we are not doing anything. We are just letting the flow go to the next stage, and we are just writing one log. We are not performing any action and we are not breaking the while loop also from here. All right. Here. So now what we will do is that we will check that if next container is available. So since we have already checked container number 1, so what should be the next one? It should be 2. So we have increased the row counter by 1 here. We have utilized the same selector which we have take, taken for the text, because action is different but element is same. All right, so this selector we have taken, and you can see the row table row counter variable was there, and same selector I have pasted here after increasing the row, so it will always check for the next one. So once it has checked for the next selector, I am checking that next card is, so element exist will check that the element which you are looking for or which you are targeting is available or not, and it will return you one boolean. So in the boolean we have taken our variable which we have created outside next card status, and it was default false. So we are checking here if it is available true, then yes, we will move next card to next card and get the, okay, and then we will perform the action once again. If it is not available, what we can do is we can set this next card status to false also, otherwise we can just directly break it. So if you will use this next card false, then you will not have to use this break, because the condition of the loop in the while loop is it will run only if it is next card status is true. Okay, so you can take any of the activity, either next card status or the break. I will disable this for now. You can use and you can evaluate yourself. All right, now let's break this. Now let's move on the next step. So this branch development is done. Now if let's say the card is there is no card, so this was for one card, that at least one card should be available. So if one card is there or more than one card is there, that branch will go here. And if there is no card, what should happen? I will there is one more default variable I will add into this list. So this is the output out extraction result. So it will when we will connect the entire flow, it will return us the final status. So if let's say flow is exiting from here, there will be different status, and if flow is exiting from some other stage, then there will be a different status. Okay, so just add this into the default variables, and this will be changed into the arguments in the later stage. So now what we have to do, take a sequence, flow exit, and what we have to do on flow exit, we have to take one assign activity and this variable which is out extraction result. We will set billing details not. If you will see my previous videos, I am using the same status, so I can just write. And before I am writing, along with the writing or along with the returning the status with a value, I can write a log message also. Same thing, billing details not found. So if billing details not found, then it will exit the flow and it will set the status to billing details not found. Fine. So now let's say we have found the details, and now we have to go inside this record. So how you will go, that you have to click on this element. So now to click on this element, we cannot click directly because this is a dynamic field. So if let's say my matching record is this one, I have to click on this. But if my matching record is this one, then I have to click on this. So now you have to go back 2-3 minutes, and then you have to understand that when you were writing the status here, when you were getting the text from here, okay, this detail, this parcel number you can see here also was getting printed into your output file here. All right, so what you have to do, you have to break this and you have to take this text which is in a fixed pattern. So whenever you find any string and you have to extract any string which is in the fixed pattern, then you can use regular expressions. So now how to use regular expression with Uipath? In Uipath you have a activity, it is Uipath matches. So Uipath matches will return you all the matches for a particular string, and from there you can take first part or the first part of it or the second part of it or whatever you wish to take. Okay, so now first of all we have to see that where we are storing this text in UiPath Studio or UiPath workflow. So we are storing in the container. So we have to change the accessibility. To change the accessibility in UiPath, you have to select that activity and For that value, what you have to do, you have to click on variable. In the container, what you have to do, what is our variable? Container text. So you have to search for that particular variable. Here is the container text. So it is by default accessible into entire flow on the top level. You don't have to worry about the variable accessibility. Now go back. Okay, so let's come outside and try to extract this parcel number. So now we will create a sequence and we will name the sequence as function f2. Then so function f2 is Uipath shortcut to rename the activities. So sequence is details. To open details, what we need. So I have to use the regular expression. So the first thing which I need is we have to have a pattern. So create a variable control K, my pattern. Now we have to create the pattern using this text. Let's copy this text now and right click here by do control C. Now let me create the pattern. So 0 to 9, which means digit. How many digits we have in start? 2 digit. And then we have a special character. So this sign denotes the special character. So minus. And how many special characters we have? We have one special character here. Then again we have 4 digits. So you see 0 to 9. I have to change it to 4. Okay. And after that again we have a special character. Which is the special character? This. How many times we have the special character? One time. Okay. And then again we have digit. How many times? 0 to 9. How many times we have? We have 3 times. So this pattern is matched now. But again we have special character and digit. So this will denote special character. I will paste it here. And then I will write how many times it is. One time. Again I have 0 to 9. How many times? 4 times. This is the pattern which we have created. I will just save this and you will find this regular expression here. I will also share the link. Okay, now let's copy this pattern from here and go to our variable, paste, do Control S to save. And the next is that I already have my complete text, so I don't have to create a variable for that. Now I have to take matches, UiPath matches. So UiPath matches will return the matches as per the pattern. So whenever we want to use regular expression in UiPath, we have to use matches. Now you click on this and you can, if you want to test it, you can select advance and then you can paste your regular expression here and you can take the save it for now and you can take your text from here, put your cursor here, copy from here Again, just minimize this, go to regular expression, paste. So you can see this match is found here. This is highlighted. Okay, even if you will have multiple line text, it will give you the highlight. All right. So, but we have our regular expression already available in variable. Okay. So what you can do is just go to the properties. In the pattern, you can pass your pattern as my pattern. Properties. Okay. And you can take results here, parcel, and it control K, and then all parcel matches. You can create the variables from here as well, variable, and then you can assign them. So all the variables which I am creating are getting created here itself. Okay, so now you will have all the matches available into this. Once you have the matches, what you have to do is you have to select the first match. Control again, you have to click here, Control K, this side. If you want it, let me show you how to create variable from here and use there. Come here, come down, create variable, extracted parcel number. Let's keep the accessibility till this sequence itself. Okay. Now, how will you get the parcel number? Extracted parcel number from the matches. You have to select first one. So let's say if there are multiple string of the same pattern, you have to target only first. So it is zero. Let me show you same thing in the expression editor. I have to do one change dot to string. Now let's write this log. Write this in a log message just for the illustration purpose. Extracted parcel number. Save. Now let me try to connect this. So we have already set this as the start node because we have to first extract the data, entire data from the containers, and then we will so and then there will be a final container data. Out of that data, we have to extract this parcel number. Oh, there is this zero will come here. All right, and there is some issue. So our input is container text. All right, now it looks fine. Let's run this. Since I have closed the browser, I have to run this entire flow. Otherwise, you can test it from here only if your browser is already open, and that those containers are available on your screen. I will delete. I'll right click here, set this as a start node. Let's run. It will happening now. Everything is happening automatically. Close is started. So this is the out result from this flow. multiple things, and now in the end you have this parcel number available. You see this parcel number, this is the end result. Now if you want to test it once again, you can just set this as a start node, and in this log file let me do little changes. I will open this in the editor so that you can see it properly. I will add plus double quotes two times and extracted parcel number. Okay, so why we are running from here? Because this part is already open, so we don't have to repeat it once again. Let's go here, save and run. Now let's see, it is running now, completed. So you see extracted parcel number is this. Okay, so this flow was broken when it found the, I am repeating it again, owner name matched. So once the owner name matched was found, so this was the final text which was there in the variable, in the loop. Okay, so when it is coming, so when it was coming in the loop, it was reading first, owner name not matched, override, read next, owner name not matched, override, read third, read fourth, like that. So when owner name was matched, it was broken, and the final text which was available from this sequence was this. Now, when we have used this regular expression, which you have just seen 2 3 minutes back, that has extracted the parcel number of this address. Now we have this parcel number in a variable. How will you click on this? Come here and you can just open this Uipath Explorer. Click on any element because we will take through variable. So you can just click on this. Now again we will understand that how to deal with UiPath selectors which are dynamically changing and how to pass the UiPath selectors in the variable. So when you have the UiPath selector value, required value, so this is a AA name, and this we are able to extract. That might be changing, but we are able to extract. So we can utilize that variable here. So now this is the UiPath Explorer. You can click on any element and then you can understand the selectors. To correct the selectors, you can select other parts also if you think that it is really required. Once UiPath Explorer generate the selector, you can try and you can highlight. So it is going, you can see here. Okay. Now you can copy this from here, and if you will change this value, you will make it, then it will click on this part also. Let me show you. I'll just copy this. I will change this value here. All right, I will highlight once again. You can see. So the changing part is this. So if we have, this is the this is the matched, and we have to click on this. We are easily able to extract this from the complete text. Now let's copy this. Go to our workflow, drag a click activity. Inside this activity, you don't have to take any screenshot or you don't have to indicate any element. Come here, pass the selector and use variable. Select this entire part, right click, use a variable, Variable is extracted parcel number. Confirm. Override default value because we don't have any value. Just confirm and check this that there should be nothing before this X and after this parcel number variable. Click on OK. Okay, now let's check that does it click on the right one or not. Save. So we already have these cards available. Now it has to perform, and let me release this also. Go here, highlight in the UI Explorer, close. So now I will run this. So it should click on this record because our number is matching and the flow will break here and the final parcel number will be this. So it should click on this one now. Let's see. Now, how will you validate? The next page is available, but how will you validate? You can see the parcel number here. You can go back in this video and you can check it has clicked on the right element or not, and you can check the owner name here. You can match this owner name with the file. Okay. So once we have clicked here, now next point is that we have to click on this print button and we have to save the summary report and we have to save this detailed report. And before saving these two reports, we have to create the folders and we have to check that if folders are available already or not. So that we will do using UiPath activities. There are different UiPath activities. If you want to learn more about UiPath activities, please subscribe to my channel. There are so many videos about UiPath. Now let's go ahead. I want to tell you one more thing that we will open the document only if the owner name status is true. So after this, there will be a flow decision. Okay, so let me break this link from here and get a flow decision. Okay, if it is true, it is returning true, then we will go to this branch. And if it returns false, then just copy this flow exit and mention here. You just have to change the value of this argument, which is owner name mismatch. All right, now we have to give that what should be the condition which has to be checked here in the flow decision. So that will be the owner match status is false right now. Then come inside and we are setting it to owner match status to true. So only if the owner match is true, then we have to open the document. Otherwise, we have to exit the flow. Hope that is clear to you now. So I will pass here. I think that variable is not accessible outside, so we have to change the accessibility. Owner name match status. Come here. Owner name match status. We have to make this available for all the activities. Now we will be able to access that. Okay. So if true, then it will come this side. When it has come this side, now next point is we will create one sequence. Then click on this with parcel number. Click on print, summary report and detailed report. All right. So we will create two different sequences, summary report and detailed report. Function F2 again, report, sequence, I will go in this direction, downside, detailed report. Then I can create one variable here. I want to create variable from here this time. Summary, report, file, path. Okay, and the access should be within the sequence. So how should be the file path? So we had created a variable already, which is, so we have to create that variable main order folder. Okay, so main order folder should be accessible across the sequence. So we have to change the accessibility to Miami. And then how should be the path for that main order folder? So if we go into Orange County, you have this path structure. Okay, I'll just copy the main folder from here. So this, and then we should have backward slash plus in, and then the orange name has to be replaced with the Miami. And then folder will be with the combination of the owner name. So that is in owner name. In owner name. And if you want to replace the space, that also you can do. Let me just drag this to side on this side. Replace. You don't want space, then you can replace that with nothing, or if you want to replace with underscore, that you can decide. I am replacing with nothing here. So now the master folder, whenever a record will, so whenever one record will get processed and document will be saved, first the folder will be created this way. In this folder, Miami, and then inside the Miami, there will be a owner name also. So you can see the structure here and notice that this is the variable value in owner name. We might have to do some changes when we will combine this in a complete flow. But as of now, let's develop using only this. Alright, so we have main folder now. Now, first point, what we have to do in order to save the document, we have to click on this print icon. Let's take a click. Indicate on the screen this time. We don't, because this is the unique element. Okay, after clicking, there is a pop-up. Okay, so let's give some delay here. Delay after. So I will take 2 seconds. 2 seconds means 2000 milliseconds. Let's do the next action manually. Click on this. You will see this pop-up coming in, and then we have to first click on summary report. Let's check the selector. Okay. So if you want to modify the selector, you can open UI Explorer. Indicate the element, summary report, and then take this name. Now it looks fine because name is coming. Minimize this Uipath Explorer, and in this near Uipath Studio, go to selector section. Control A, Control V, validate once. This pop-up is visible. So if you want to highlight also, you can highlight. So it is working fine. Go back, release the highlight, and click OK. Okay, now let's perform next action manually. So click on summary report. So when you click on summary report, this new window will appear, and we have to maximize this window. Okay, so to use maximize window, I hope you understood. You have to use recording. So we will use web recording, and we will click on this window here. After click, we just do escape, save and exit. You have the recording. You can rename the recording. You can rename the UiPath recording, and UiPath shortcut for rename is function F2. And let's keep the name as maximize print window. Right now, minimize, save. Let's close this and run our UiPath Studio once again. We have to close this pop-up as well. Save, run. It has launched. Click. Let's see if it is maximized or not. It's not maximized because, and inside this we have to take maximize. Okay, now let's close this print option and close this pop-up as well. Do save, and I have already set this as a start node, only this part. Okay, now run. It has clicked on print tab, clicked on summary report, coming on this window now. Yeah, it has maximized the window, you can see here, right? So once it is done, what is next? I will do this inside the attached window itself, I will click on this print option. Now cancel. Come back to your UiPath Studio. And I will be running this flow from here itself now because we don't require to go from start for the development of this county. So inside this recording itself, what I will do, I will take a click activity and I will indicate this print button. Now let's check the selector also. Okay, so once I will click on print, let's minimize this recording now. Come outside from here. So once I will click on print button, what is next? So now next you will see if this print window available, and you will see that the focus is already set on save. So if you will hit enter here, it will automatically open that save save document window. All right. So let me cancel this, and we have clicked on the print now, and then let's start sequence. So we will wait for 2 3 seconds here. I will go, and the next step is that delay. How much delay? 0 0 column 0 0 column 0 3 3 seconds we will wait so that the document is loaded, and then we will send a hotkey. So we will not keep any selector. Why we don't want to keep any selector? Because the focus will be already set on the print button, and we will send a enter key. Okay, and then again we have to put some delay. So here I am not using delay activity. I will rather put delay here itself. Delay after 1 second we will wait, or let's 2 seconds. Okay, and then after this window will appear. Now hit enter. You can see this window. So we have to type. Now before typing we have to take type into activity. Okay, indicate on the screen, and then we have to indicate this element and go to properties. Click before typing will be there. Click before typing so that focus is set on the right part. So you have seen in my previous videos that this document saving was very slow. So now to make it fast, what we can do is we can create one variable, file path, or let's say the variable name control K I have done, and summary file path. So what should be the summary file path? We already have this master main order folder where we are creating the folder inside the title search folder, and we are adding owner name as well when we are creating the folder. Okay. So now we have a folder with the owner name. Now what should happen? Document name we will stay write as. So this will come because this will go inside the path. summary report, and then slash once again, not slash, summary report underscore, and then again we will take owner name. We have already taken in the folder. Now this time we are taking in the file, and then after that we will give extension .pt. So this is how we want to save. And this value you have already seen 5 minutes back. Okay, and inside this I want to create the file like summary report owner name .pdf. So this is the file which I want. Now what I will do is I will assign this variable value to a clipboard. Set clipboard and summary file path. Okay, and then I will do control P. So when you do control P in Windows, that value get pasted. It might be some other shortcut. So what we have to do is we have to perform the paste action now. So we can use shortcut key. It might be different in Linux, it might be different in Windows, or it might be different in MacBook. So I am not sure about it, but here it is control V. So we have to delete this now. We have to take send hotkey. It is control and V, and we have to indicate the element because we have to send the hotkey inside this element. And then you can do function F to rename. You can make is sh and file path window. Okay, and once the that is and once the path is pasted, then we have to click on save. So okay, let me close this now. Let me close this window also to cancel. Close this print window and come back to the main window. Close this pop-up, and this is the entire sequence for your reference once again. If you should not be missing, click on the image, click on the print image, click on summary report, maximize that print window, then wait for the window to be loaded, then wait for the window to be loaded, and then use Uipath hotkey activity to send enter on the print window, and then create one variable, and shortcut for that Uipath shortcut for that is control K. Use and the this is how the structure should be, and then you assign this variable value to Uipath set to clipboard activity, and then you use the Uipath send hotkey and rename that, then send control V and then click on save button on the Windows file save panel. Let's run this. So this is the only part. So whenever you do development in UiPath, you should test piece by piece. Okay. So now you can see that in last 30-40 minutes we are doing everything one by one, and we have created so many things. And we have created so many UiPath actions. Now run this. Print, window open, enter is sent, folder is typed, and I think there is some error in the path. So the folder does not exist. Now this is the time that we have to create the folder if it does not exist. And if it exists, we will delete the folder so that all the already available files are deleted. So now let's see how to create file and folder in UiPath, or how to delete file and folder in UiPath. So that folder creation should happen just before we are clicking on the save button. You can do that somewhere else also. And note that we don't have to repeat this folder creation once again. So the first step will be I will search for path exist. So UiPath path exist activity is used to check that if some file or folder exists or not. And in this scenario, what is our folder? Our folder is main order folder. So what we will do, we will check this, and then this returns a boolean. Owner folder exists. Owner folder exists. This is the variable. Now what we will do, it will return, and then we will check in a if condition. Owner folder exists, then what we will do, we will delete this path, main order folder. Why we are deleting that? We don't want any old file to be there, and the path will be from here, main order folder. All right, let's minimize this. If it is not exist, then I'm just writing this log in folder. So if the path is not there, we cannot delete it. That's why we have taken this condition. So if exist, then delete. If not exist, then do nothing. Because folder creation we will do outside of this if. Let's do Control F2, which is the shortcut of UiPath renaming. All right. Now we will create. So in so folder creation will happen all the time. The sequence which is above is just to check and delete the folder if exist. Create folder is the activity in UiPath, and then same main folder we have to create fresh folder. Now it should be saved. Let's check the once again. Yes, it is coming with the name Miami. Yeah. Now let's run. So it should create this folder here till here the folder path, and rest is the file path. So I have already explained the main folder variable. So I have already explained that how to dynamically create the main folder variable using owner name. So highlighted is the owner name. So you can go back 5 minutes and then check the video once again. Okay, now let's close this, and let's close this pop-up also. We have to run from here. Okay, so I will run and see. I will run this UiPath workflow and see works fine or not. Saving now. Yes, so there is no error. Which means that folder is created and file is also saved. Now let's go to the folder and see. RP project, title search, Miami. In Miami, you can see the this is our name, owner name, this one. Okay, so this file is saved just now. You can see the timing from here. So the address I had mentioned manually, if you remember. Okay, that's why the name is not matching. So when we will repeat the flow, the name will match. From start, it will come and the name will type. So I have manually typed this address. So this address belongs to some other owner, which is this owner. And if you will see the name matching with this one. So for this address, this is the UiPath workflow is working fine, and the folder is created by UiPath workflow itself automatically. And every data which is there inside the folder path is a dynamic data, which means we are using variables. So any data which is coming from the Excel file will be considered. All right. Now let's come back to the UiPath Studio, and we have completed the sequence of summary report. And before we are coming out, we have to do one more thing, that we have to close this pop-up so that there are not multiple pop-up, so that the focus is back on the main window. So let's enter a activity for that also. We'll just create a activity separately and test, and then paste that inside. So I'll send hotkey. Where I have to send the hotkey, I will use the same print button here. Alt F4. Let's do that manually first of all. Alt F4. Yes, it is closing. Let I have to. Okay, so Alt. I have to select a key from here, which is F4. All right, and now you just copy this and save this. The end. If you want to take some delay before this, that will be good, but not too much. 1000. So we are done with the summary flow. So almost same kind of actions we have to perform in the other flow as well. So better that if we just copy this one and change some values. Okay, I have copied it, pasted, detail report. Okay. So now let's change the active actions inside, and we will just change the selector into UiPath activities, and then there are many steps which will remain same, and we might have to change few variable values also. So let's do that now. I have to open the browser once again because I think by mistake I have closed that. So just go details, copy. Let's search the same address once again. Manually, I am doing these actions because we have already set the start node as that print button inside the documents. I will click on this now. So here is the print button. Now let's come back and open this detailed report sequence. This will remain same, which is a click on the print button, and then this we have to change. So what we will do is We will click on this, and then I will go to my UiPath Studio. Come here, indicate on a screen, detailed report. So you remember that we had checked the selector and the name was not there. Yeah, this time the name is there. Save, and then let's see what is the next action. If I click on detailed report, I will again have same similar kind of window. Okay, so we don't have to change anything. That flow will do everything as previous flow. So it will come here, maximize this, click on the print, which is already done. So let me show you. Maximize the window, click on that logo. Okay, here is the maximize. Same actions and come down. Delay to wait for the window. Send hotkey, which is enter key, because the you will click here, click on print, then automatically the save window will come, the print preview, and the focus will be already on save. So same, all these steps are same which we have done in the last sequence to save summary report. Now the change is here. So this is the summary file path. Okay. So now here we have to create one more variable, which is detailed file path, and we have to change this detailed file path here, and then we have to again send the hotkey control V when it is saving, and this path exist and delete folder. If folder exists will not happen, because we have already checked in the previous sequence that if path exists, then path exists in the sense folder exists, then delete the folder. If we will delete the folder here also, then the document which was saved, the summary document, that also will be deleted. I'm repeating this again. We have already done old folder deletion and creating new folder, so we don't have to do same thing again here. So we can delete this. If we will do same thing to delete the folder, then the file which is summary report also will be deleted, which we have just saved in the previous sequence. I will delete this activity. I will delete this activity. I will delete this UiPath create folder activity also. It will come from here. And then we have saved it. We have to again close the window. Now let's save it, come outside, and set this as the start node. I will make this to 80% because now flow has become little wider. So you can see the entire flow. So this is a start node. This should click, and I have to close this pop-up. I have to, which I have opened manually. And I have to close this window also, print window also. Okay, now let's run this UiPath workflow. Save. It will click on the print, clicked on the detailed, maximize the window, save, and I have done a mistake that I have not changed the name. So this is already exist. So what I have to do, cancel, and I have to hold my workflow. Name I have to change here in the variable. I have changed the variable, but I have not changed the name here. So summary report, it will not be summary report, it will be detailed report. So we had already saved detailed. Now save it, and I have to close this window again. Okay. Now let's run this. It is happening. It has hit enter, typing the name, detailed report, right? Close the window. One step which I have missed is to close this pop-up in both the sequences. So let's do that now. So after that window is closed, I have to close this, indicate this close button, Control C, go outside and open this Uipath sequence for summary report. And in this sequence, in the end, you can just close this, save. Now let's do one thing. Let's run both of these sequences at one time. So I will close this. I will not close the entire browser because we will start from here after clicking on the print button. So I will connect these two flows only. Okay, and I will set this one as a start node now. I will see that the folder and files are available already. So you can see in title search Miami folder is created. Date also you can check. And this is the owner name which is assigned to our variable. And these are the two files. All right. So these are few unused file which I am deleting now. Now you can see it clearly. All right. And let's do see that if this will delete, if this folder will be deleted or not. So this is the timing which you can note. I'll just save and run this file from here. Yes, so folder is not deleted. So now when we are checking that path exists, then we are checking for the file. And what we have to check? We have to check for the folder. If folder exists, but here I have selected the wrong option. You have to select folder. And now just save it and connect this flow once again. Yes, page is already available. So let's run and test now. Yes, next document. All right, so we have saved both the files successfully. Now this is the time that we should test complete flow from starting. And if you have, I will delete it from here and I will set this as a start node. Check that all the connections are proper. So this is connected, this is connected, connected, and this is missing. All right, come down. Yes, if you want, you can move it here, this side. Visibility is better. Save and run your Uipath workflow. So now all the actions are happening automatically. Data is loading. Loaded, it has clicked on the card, opening the document. First document saved. Second document saved. Being saved, sorry. Second document is also saved. Close the window, done. So work is done without any error. Now let's try same thing with the another variable, which is this. And let me change the data here. Owner name is double quotes paste. I have come down and then I have changed it. So you can just delete this entire owner name and then paste. Okay, so this is the owner name. It might come in the next line sometime, so you have to use down arrow key to go there and then delete the required line element. Okay, and what is the address for this owner? This is the address, so I will take the address till here till to here. House name plus street address. House number. Okay, so house number I will take first here, and then the street address is here. Then save. Now let's run this and see the result. Click. If you want, you can do debug also, so it will show you all these steps. It's happening automatically now. Another document, detailed report. Saved. Browser closing. We will do when we will connect the flow. Now let's go and see the folder. So this is the in the title search. This is the Miami folder. You can see the timing here. You can see the timing of these reports. And this is the report for Mr. George, and you can see, open this and you can see the name here is George. All right. Another document also you can see summary report. George. Now let's go and check for Wilson. So this is for Mr. Wilson detailed report. Close this summary report for Mr. Wilson. You can see here summary report. Summary report. So now the last point is when it is saved, we have to set this flow exit as successfully saved. It's like here I am taking done. Extraction result is done. And here also I have to change in the logs as done. Okay. And here let me check. All the log message I have to change. So, so this is when owner name is not matching. Owner name mismatch, I have already changed it. I can use same value here. Okay, I'll just save and come out. So I have done the changes when owner name match status is false. I have, and then when document is successfully saved, same variable. So you can see this, and this. These are the three branches which will use as the exit branches of this workflow. All right. So hope you have enjoyed this video and you are enjoying this project also. You can see the entire flow right now on your screen. And please share my videos with your friends and on your social media channels if you are finding it good and you think that this might be useful for some other friends also. Let's meet in the next video and then understand how to combine entire project together. We have already done two more workflows, reading the data from Excel and breaking the data from the complete address into house number, street name, pin code, and other details. Now we will utilize those two workflows and then we will call county workflows. So all the county development is completed in this video. All right. So happy learnings. Let's meet in the next video.